Hi, and welcome back to the Save It for Parts channel. Today is our final day out in Death Valley exploring old mines and ghost towns, and we are heading back to Minnesota at the end of the day. So this is the final installment in this particular video series. Now I do want to note that today's mine explorations were some of the more dangerous ones that we've seen out here. We were exploring some mines in talc and gypsum deposits, which are both very soft and crumbly rocks. These are very unstable types of mines, and we don't recommend exploring any mines without proper safety equipment, experience, and safety plans, but especially not mines in these unstable formations. There were actually a couple mines that we saw today that were really promising, but we didn't fully explore them because we chose our limits. We decided we don't like what these look like. We're not going to go any further in some of these particular mines. Again, I don't recommend exploring any abandoned mines on your own. With that being said, hope you enjoy the rest of the video. So it's a beautiful morning here in Warm Springs Canyon. Really pretty, very windy. Apologize about the wind noise, it's about a gale force wind here. We've got the old Warm Springs Resort or camp here. Our nice little cabin that we took over for the night. And then we've got the mines and some milling ruins. So this looks like a fun area for the day. This is our last full day out here. Here's the old Warm Springs pool and what I assume is the main building. We don't know how the donkeys managed to get down in the pool to poop in it. Most of the old buildings here at Warm Springs Camp are in pretty rough condition. They've definitely seen better days here. And then even the trails between buildings are kind of blocked by a lot of downed trees. There's this little hole up behind the Warm Springs camp. Let's see where it goes. Kind of just looks like a little storage area. And some side drifts. Don't really go anywhere. Yeah, I don't think this is really a mine. It's just a root cellar and toilet storage. Huh, it's quite the critter.
A little closer to sandstone?
Well, it's talc, so it's like a, powdery stuff. I found the mine office where you do serious mining business. At least they've got some kind of supports on the ceiling. This is a little more modern mine. I don't know the exact year. Oh, okay, this is another entrance or exit with a bat gate on it. Doesn't look like it goes anywhere else. Kind of goes at all different levels here.
Yeah.
Interesting shape here. They're just following the angle of the talc, I guess. We're kind of spiraling lower and lower here in these declines. It's like a series of downward ramps. What's up there? Oh, just another down, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that critter is for.
Huh. Well, we found where all the water in the mine goes. down into this tunnel and makes a super clear pool. This collapsed pile of rubble claims to be the exit. It seems legit. Does that go outside?
Yeah.
Eventually?
Yeah. Try.
Okay. Looks like an incline that goes up to the surface. This could be like an older mine that intersects this new one. Carl's gonna go check it out. Alright, I think we've looped back to where we started here. This is looking familiar. And there's the surface world. This is definitely an older one. I don't know if this goes anywhere. This one might be a dead end. Yeah, okay, it's a dead end. Now we're kind of striking out at this one. There's supposed to be a really big mine here. But all we're finding is ruins and rubble and some antique gas pumps. All of this is just public land, so there's not even any trespassing to go in these mines. They're all basically just owned by us. And a lot of them are just wide open. No signs, no gates, nothing. This is all talc, which I guess you make talcum powder from. It's a fairly crumbly, powdery rock. And that's what they were mining out over here. I'm trying some talc with the black light. Mostly just looks purple, and occasional little specks of something else. Alright, the weather's starting to look pretty scary coming down the canyon towards us, but before we went we did check out one additional talc mine. Now this was supposed to be one of the biggest ones in the area, however, as we got deeper and deeper into the entrance, it started to look more and more scary. There was a lot of breakdown, a lot of collapse, and it looked like any wrong move would bring the rest of the ceiling down on top of us. So we decided the safest approach was to give this one a pass.
Yeah. I don't know about this one. Yeah, I don't like this one. I think this is definitely not OSHA approved.
Looks like a real Death Valley sandstorm down there. So we were just driving along and we spotted this little mine or cave off the side of the road. Toilet? Oh yeah.
And that's about it.
Okay, well, somebody's been pooping in here. Alright, we're up at the upper level. Let's see where this goes. It's actually kind of a significant cave in here. This looks washed out, like water came down and eroded it. Keeps going back this way. So Carl found the upper entrance, it looks like. Random natural cave off the side of the road. Yeah, there's a bunch of little caves along this road. We drove about 10 feet. There's some more over there. There's another one over there. So it's kind of just a water diversion here through this little hole. There's some kind of large bird nest up in there. That passage actually maybe goes somewhere. This just goes back out to where we were. So that little hole actually does start to get kind of interesting in here. It starts branching up and down and goes under, goes over. She gets reasonably tall. I get pretty grumpy about crawling height caves, but this one I can actually stand up in. There's another of these little waterfall kind of areas. Another channel there. Passage back there. There's probably a sinkhole up here. These are all getting a little crawly, and I didn't bring knee pads, so I'm going to be pretty lazy about following all these leads. There's a very classic cave stream bed through these lower passages here. You can see where the water is cut through that lower channel. And I did not follow that lead. I didn't follow that one. There were a few different spots I didn't go just because I don't feel like crawling. So this seems actually reasonably extensive in here. So we're down in a gypsum mine now. This one's kind of cool. It's got some very interesting crystals in the walls. Not the most stable thing, gypsum, but it's very windy in here. The wind's blowing right through it. Got a big gypsum crystal here. And a whole vein of it right along there. So this is a great example of an angled room and pillar mine, where the whole thing is at about a 45-degree angle. The working face goes up to follow the vein, and then the supporting pillars just come out at an angle as well and hold up the roof there. Some tracks down under all the rubble. So Rachel pointed out that this crevice here is the bat crevice. It's very stained up there with bat droppings. And then directly below it, in line with the crevice, is a ton of guano, or bat poop. So, alright, I think this is another gypsum mine. And they've built these rock walls to hold up, I think to just throw rubble back in there. It's almost like a little bit like Paris catacombs, where they've kind of consolidated it and left these access passages through. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Still some pillars up in there. Yeah, this is what happens when you don't put pillars in. You get a big slab of ceiling fall down. And we definitely picked the soft rock mines to do today. Talc, and now gypsum. Not as stable as the hard rock gold mines. This one might be older than that last gypsum mine we were in, since they've held up the ceiling with these consolidations and wooden posts versus leaving pillars of rock in place. Always fun when you can look out of one mine into another mine directly across the valley. Alright, that's about it for this video and this Death Valley series. The rain finally caught up with us, so we scampered back to Vegas and flew home. I hope you've enjoyed this little diversion out west. Stay tuned for my regular installments of dodgy boats and sketchy homemade projects. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.